Hey, welcome to the welcome.
He gonna try. Hey, he gonna wait. You gonna try to run out the door, man. He gonna get back over here.
But you know what? That's a good segue. Welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Rod Love. We got the general rep next to me, Attorney Greg Jackson. But what we were trying to get done was we have our special guest that's been on the show time and time again,
Brother Lawrence Davis.
And we need for Brother Armando to make sure Doc gets a link and maybe send that link to Brother Jackson so he can send it and we can get him on the air.
Listen, you can send it to the text that Brother Davis, like we all had us on the text.
So okay, all right. So Doc, if you would, who is our very influential executive producer, send that link to Brother Davis.
I would certainly do that, but let me talk about Doc. We
pull that mic to you, man. You pull that microphone to you.
Yeah, because you wouldn't hardly let me get an edge in word wise on the other show. So
you was taking us down a deep path. I just had to stop you.
But listen, I took my beautiful bride to Paris and the cities that I was stationed with this past week, and we had a great, amazing time. I mean, it's been 30 years since I was in Paris. And yeah, the men and the women do pee together. So I just want to put that out there.
Tell everybody about, you say you went on a mission and afterwards it worked you out.
Man, listen, Greg, I did the foolish thing of walking from the Arc de Triomphe to the Eiffel Tower, down the Champs-Élysées.
Bad move, brother. Bad move. What's that, 4 miles? 4 or 5 miles? What's that? I just looked down the street. I didn't even want to walk. I just looked down the street, man. No, I'm not doing that.
Boy, I was so tired when I got there. I almost had to crawl.
I think it's about 4 or 5 miles down.
And listen, my wife said, no, let's take the metro. And I said, baby, I don't think the metro go by there. Because we had one of the day pass on the metro, right? The metro come right.
You like to be slick. You know the metro go right by there.
Hey, Doc, how many miles was that?
Man, I ain't gonna even tell you. Listen,
I'm gonna tell you the trick. You know what the trick is?
What?
Uber.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, but
that's
shoot.
the trick, man. That's the easiest way to get around.
But listen, it's expensive because we spent like $900 on Uber.
What you was doing on Uber?
Yeah.
I know places there, so I wasn't going like the tour. I don't do the tourist thing at all, really. I go to other.
You paid a car note to be on Uber, then.
Well, I mean, we travel a lot.
That ain't
you know what I'm saying? So
I said you paid a car note to ride Uber.
Yeah, but it was worth it. Listen,
that's what you did.
When I was in Fulda, that's what I did. I hired a car. That was a big part of it. Going back and forth to the train stations and things like that. We rode the bullet train, and it was funny because my wife looked up and saw 200 and something.
Oh yeah, they're moving. Yeah, kilometers. Yeah, that's 270 kilometers. Yeah, they're moving.
Yeah, I told her, listen, and we translated. We were going 187 miles an hour.
You been on that train?
Yeah. You talking about the Euro
Yeah, the TGV.
Yeah,
the TGV and the DE.
Yeah, that thing is moving. It's moving.
Yeah, it's moving, right?
Listen, here in Central Florida, they need to take some notes from what they're doing between, in Europe with the use of that high-speed rail, man.
So going that fast. I mean, you can't tell.
No, you really can't. I mean, it's smooth.
So when they're breaking it down, when they're coming in, when they're breaking it down so gradual.
Well, I mean, you like going through towns and stuff like that. So you're doing what? Like you're doing that for maybe 10, 15 minutes at a time. You're not doing the whole time, but
But we didn't hit a wide stretch until we crossed over into France.
Mm-hmm.
And going through German towns, like Greg said, you have to slow down. you could feel them, breaking.
Hey, so do they
it's-
tell you like when you're on a plane, you come in?
Oh, they'll tell you nothing. Hey, they'll tell you nothing. Every man for himself, and God for us all. You step if you want to. Listen, I'll tell you nothing.
Hey,
Oh boy.
and of course we got on the Audubon. And
Oh, see, now
Hey.
that I've never done.
listen, my wife was the dude. As soon as we got in the Uber driver took off from the airport and hit 130.
What was he driving?
I want to say some kind of Honda, and everything over there
Honda.
just about is electric.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything we got into just about was electric. I mean, from we had a Mercedes one time, we had a couple of Hondas, we had mostly Toyotas. The other one was Toyota.
Hey, Doc.
Huh?
Doc, it's not every day you go to Paris, so just chalk it up. That was a good experience for you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. So
Where you going back? And when you going back?
never ever. I'm done. I'm done. That was my second time there.
Fair enough. Listen,
So
fair enough.
my next great adventure is going to be Africa.
Well, tell you what. Okay, let me take care of a couple of things. Hey, Doc, are you gonna take
Okay.
care of Brother Davis?
Yes, he's
Okay.
right here. Mr. Lawrence Davis in the green room. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Okay.
We see you.
So-
They don't see you, but I see you.
So
Well,
Doc
I got
got that taken care of. Greg, I need for you to do something.
What you got, man?
I need for you to let everybody know who they're tuned into.
Listen, man, right now you're tuned in to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on day Monday night podcast, Brother Love and Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo guaranteed to raise your IQ 15 to 20 points of Brother Love on Sunday nights. We get up to 25 to 30. If you want to be a part of the night show, all you got to do is hit 407-921-6195. Again, that's 407-921-6195 to talk to Brother Love and Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo, two of the most influential voices in Central Florida. Brother Love, let's get it on.
All right. Well, hey, Brother Jackson, man, we got a whole bunch of things, man, that we're gonna be talking about this evening.
Oh, wait. Before we do that, man, I got us an older but goldie that joined us tonight. I got us an older go. Tell me if you remember this name. Glenn Allgood.
Oh man, okay. you ain't
Feel like
done.
we got brother Allgood watching us tonight, man. Long time no see, brother Allgood, man. We appreciate you.
Hello.
Tonight, man.
Hey, so Brother Allgood, man, great. That takes us back 8 years now.
When we first got started,
Yes.
man. Yeah, he was one of the ones that kind of helped us to hone our craft.
You're right.
Him and Brother Shaw just come in and hey, you guys, you wouldn't.
And we can't forget Lady Drina either,
Oh, man,
man.
you can't forget Lady
Yes.
Trina. That's right, man. Listen, man, we had a crew, man, that just helped to hone everything that we're doing right now.
And I saw, and I believe I'm correct, but I saw a posting by Lady Drina that George graduated, man.
All right, that should be about that time.
Yeah, George graduated.
Very
Nice.
nice. I'm
Congratulations.
surprised she didn't call us.
I know.
We got a bone to pick with Lady Drina. So.
Absolutely. Hey, Greg, I don't know where we break Brother Davis in this, or we're gonna do it now.
Listen, because we're gonna be talking about some stuff that I don't know if Brother Davis want to be a part of. So we got to get him in now so that he ain't looking crazy.
Okay.
Because listen, he may come in with his eyes all bugged out because we're gonna talk about
Don't put him
some
into
stuff
the
tonight.
web.
Man, we're gonna talk about
So
some
make
stuff
your
tonight.
make your introductions, bro.
Listen, man, tonight we have a very special guest that is going to join us to talk about a very special event that's taking place here in Central Florida. This is my fraternity brother for Alpha Phi Alpha of the Delta Xi Lambda chapter, but this is a very outstanding event, a very outstanding, I don't want to say exactly what it is because I don't want to take any wind out of his sail. But Brother Davis, how you doing this evening? Joining us live on Let's Talk Nation, my friend.
How's it going, Brother Davis?
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. It's so good to be with you. Really appreciate the opportunity. Yeah.
Hey, don't say that yet. Hold on, wait.
Okay.
I like that shirt. I like that shirt.
I knew
like
you
that
would.
shirt?
Oh
I knew
man,
you
I like
would.
that shirt. Thank you, Brother Davis, for bringing it all out tonight, man. I like that.
We can make arrangements, brother, to take care of you. All
Hey,
right?
Brother Davis. Hey, man, it's good to see you. And you know what?
Yes.
Anytime, and you know this already, but anytime under your leadership or the leadership of your fraternity that y'all have anything going on, hey man, I personally, and I know Greg is always saying it, but I appreciate the work y'all putting in out there, man.
Yeah. Well, really appreciate that. You're definitely friends of our friend, no doubt about it.
So,
yeah.
Brother Davis, what do we got going on the 21st of this month, man?
So yes, the 21st is our 7th annual Frozen Jewel Run. We'll be at Blanchard Park. We kick off at 7:06 a.m. in the morning. It's an event that's for the entire family, right? I've registered my grandkids, my daughter, whole family will be out there with me on June 21st. So you can walk it, You can run it, ride your bike, whatever way you want to move. We want you to come out and be a part of it and move with us, right? So Blanchard Park, June 21st, 7:06 a.m. And it'll just be a lot of activities that we'll have that we'll be able to involve the entire family in.
Well, you just said something that actually pulled me in a little bit more.
Yeah. The bicycle.
The bicycle.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna pick up on the bicycle part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I may go ahead and come on out there, man.
Bring it
So,
on
Brother
out.
Davis, so,
Bring
Brother
it
Davis, in order to register, what do folks need to do in order to register for?
So you go to
Frozen
frozenjewelrun.com. That's PHROZEN jewelrun.com. So you go there and you get registered. I'm going to put a plug in for myself because I have a team, right? So if you want to join the team, join Team Davis Win. That's the name of my team. So we've got about 15 people on my team so far.
nice.
It'd be nice if I get up to 25.
That's
Okay,
nice.
okay.
That's very
So
nice.
so how do these bikes figure into this? If tell me.
Well, there's opportunities to sponsor the event. We'd love to have Let's Talk Nation be a sponsor for the event. We have a variety of levels. We start as low as $250, right? And we move on up to $5,000.
Well, Brother Jackson, man, I
Oh, Brother
appreciate
Davis already know. That's why he mentioned it. He already know. Let's Talk Nation. Yeah, listen, you know, we good for something now. You know that already. So that goes without saying.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna encourage, everyone who is tuned in to Let's Talk Nation, to follow our lead.
Yeah.
And in supporting this great event. It is a family-friendly event. It's a health-conscious event. And Brother Davis has already laid out the challenge that he has 15 folks, and if you want to be a part of a winning team, he said, come and join Team Davis Win.
And did I hear correctly? 7th annual.
Yes.
Hey, listen, and there's something special about that 7. I don't know if he said it, but I don't know if he knows there's something special about that 7.
I don't, but I suspect I know what it might be.
I understand. Yeah. So anyway, but again, this event really helps us to support our scholarship fund. We just had our breakfast on Saturday, end of year school breakfast for our mentoring program, and we
Was that
handed
the
out
one at,
scholarships.
was that the one in Apopka?
Yes. Oh, you got the word. Yes, we were in a
Yeah,
pop.
as
Yes.
a matter of fact, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Pastor Gerard Moss's son was awarded a scholarship.
Yes.
And Pastor Gerard Moss, who is the senior pastor of St. Paul AME Church, my church, is also a part of the Brotherhood.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Okay,
is. Yeah.
okay.
So great event. Well supported, and that the scholarships we handed out on Saturday took us to over 38,000 for the year, right?
Wow.
And so we would like to get to $50,000 in terms of scholarships awarded by September. So this effort will really help us with that. But again, anything that you can do to help us out, we are greatly appreciative of that. And just looking forward to everybody coming out and having fun. It is really,
brother,
really a great event.
Brother Davis, let me ask, those scholarships, are they, geographically specific? Is it the Apopka area? Is it Orange County? What area does it cover?
It's Central Florida.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Typically the 4 counties, right? Lake, Orange, Osceola, Seminole. But yeah, the Central Florida area. So we have kids represented from all those different counties.
Okay. All right, man.
And then once again, give us the website,
Sure.
Flight. I don't know if we have to run it across, but let's get that one more time because I want to
One
give
more
everyone an
time, yes.
opportunity.
It is
Just
frozenjewelrun.com. Frozenjewelrun.com.
All right. And so in addition to registering for the run, individuals can also, or organizations can also sponsor
Yes.
this outstanding event, the Frozen Jewel Run, the 5K Run, the 7th annual Frozen Jewel 5K Run.
That's correct. Yeah.
Hey, Brother Davis,
We have about 200 people registered, and we'd love to see that number get over 300. So
okay. Hey, Brother Davis, before we sign off here, I know you have the registration. I know there's a sponsorship, but on that website, can individuals, if they want to donate any other sum, can they go to that website and do that as well?
yes, sir. Absolutely. You may donate on that
Great.
website. You may also go to hankinsjohnson.org. That's HANKINS Johnson, JOHNSON.org. and you may donate there as well.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Man, I tell you.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Brother Davis, it's always good to see you, man. Keep up the great work. And if you got to hit us again and plug it again next week, man, just let me know, man. We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate your help, guys. All right. Have a great evening.
Yes, sir.
Keep
You
up the
do
great
the same.
work.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
All right. Take care.
So listen, brother, you got to get yourself ready, man, to go out here for the Frozen Jewel run. Get your
Or bike.
bicycle.
Or the bike.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Get your bicycle. Like, you know, I've been on the treadmill now.
See, there you go.
I've been on the
There you go.
treadmill. And I've been.
Are you posting those pictures? What is it? One arm push-ups and all that kind of
No,
stuff?
man, I hurt my shoulder doing that one-arm push-up. I told you that, man. I hadn't done that in a while.
You know what? You just reminded me of something. Let me say this, and I wasn't going to do this.
Uh-huh.
I was not going to do this. But you know, Greg, I hadn't played golf in over a year.
That's the problem.
I hadn't played in over a year because I got a shoulder issue.
Yeah.
Buddies that you're very familiar with
Uh-huh.
continue to say, "Come on, man, let's go out, let's play. We know you
Peer
trying
pressure.
to get
Peer pressure.
peer pressure."
Yeah.
And you know, I'm gonna call the names now, man, because they made me do it. Eddie, who's an
Mhm.
educator, Marlo,
Mhm.
who's in construction,
Mm-hmm.
and D. Bell, who's an entrepreneur. They said, "Come on, man, let's do it. We'll take it easy on you." So I got up and we went and played golf, but I went by the dollar store before. Hand.
What you got? You got some Bengay
I bought some balloons.
balloons.
I bought one balloon that said congratulations because I wanted them to know y'all want to take advantage of me. So I bought a balloon saying congratulations. I bought a balloon that says feel better.
For yourself.
Yeah. And no, but really feel better for them. Y'all feel good doing this to me, right? And then it was another balloon that said good for you, which I meant good for y'all.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I got out there and tied the balloon to the golf cart, and the ranger was saying, "Hey man, whose birthday?" or "Congratulations." And the fellas kept smiling. We're teeing off. My ball would only, teeing off, Greg, I think I went 30 yards.
No.
I'm serious. 30 yards. That was on the first hole.
All right. You redeemed yourself though, right?
Great. And for those of you who tuned in, I shot an 85.
Oh, that ain't bad.
The closest to me, I think they shot a 90 or 91.
Oh, so you got at him then.
Oh man,
That's that muscle memory. That's the muscle memory, man. Hey, people don't believe in the muscle memory.
but you know what? I don't know if it was so much the muscle memory, Greg, as it was I can't swing wild like I used to.
Control swing.
Hey, but that bull who walks down,
Uh-huh.
they were running. Hey, I just kept on pace. So to my friends, I thank y'all for inviting me
So
out.
now listen. Did you use your driver?
I did. My driver kept me alive.
Really?
It did.
So listen, you know the reason why I stopped using the driver is because I couldn't control it. So I was figuring that if your shoulder was out, if you go to your irons, man, you might.
Great. I remember playing with you before, and all you was hitting was that iron, but
All
you
that
hit
iron.
the bow.
Listen, all I hit are irons, man. I don't hit nothing but irons, man.
Me, you, and Mary Nelson went out. This was years back.
Yeah.
And I was like, Greg is not gonna pull a drive out that bag.
No drivers, man.
Never
I
pulled
can't
it out.
control it. I can't control the driver.
But
So
you
I
was-
learned how to hit my irons, man.
Then you was hitting that thing as long as we were hitting drivers. But anyway,
But congratulations, Brother Love.
Thank you, man.
And that should teach you, Brother Marlo, Brother Eddie. Who's else?
D Bell.
And Brother Bell. That should teach y'all a lesson, man. Y'all go pick on my friend, Brother Love, and he gonna take y'all out there and take y'all to the woodshed.
You know they coming after me.
Did you win some money too?
Man, it was token. It was no more than $10.
See, now they might be setting you up.
Well, but you know what? I gotta recover.
And it might be setting you up.
Hey, Brother Jackson, was it Frozen with an F?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, that's it? With a P?
That's it. FrozenJewelRun.com. That's right.
Wait, hold up. That's with a PH.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what, I thought it was Frozen.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I want to make sure that they get, people going to the site. And also, Doc, I don't know if you can put up there, HankensJohnson.org. You can donate to that site again for the
the Frozen Jewel
run.
5K run, the 7th
Yeah.
annual Frozen Jewel 5K run.
Hey, man, your fraternity, now this is just a plug, and it's a righteous plug, but the fraternity that you belong to, man, and I see all the fraternities out there doing some good work as well. But man, Brother Davis and those alphas are putting in the work, man.
And listen, no doubt, and I just saw a couple of my good friends pop in. Just saw my good friend John Burns. He's joining us tonight. Brother Burns, how you doing this evening? And then I also see my other good friend, my boy, my ace, Brother Hugh Pinto, that's one of my fraternity brothers also.
When we going back to the barbershop, man?
You know what we do need? Listen, it's election season. We need to seriously be talking about doing another barbershop talk. Man.
Speaking of the election season, there is a forum taking place. Greg, it might be as we're speaking right now.
It is, man, but they didn't invite us to do it, so I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to talk. I'll let you talk about it. I'm going to sit outside with Brother Armando. I ain't going to talk about it.
It is the Senate District 15 forum, and of course,
Who's
Greg,
showing up?
that's a good question. I don't know, but let's tell everybody who are the candidates that's in that race real quick, man. We got time for that. Look.
You already.
So then let me hit the rewind.
Yeah, look,
hey, Greg,
you got to stay. Listen. Just because you won your little golf match on Saturday, don't mean you coming over here.
I'm jumping all over stuff, man.
Jumping all over.
But tell you what, then let me back up, Greg. And Greg, give us an update on the President Trump, Elon Musk.
Have you been watching what's been taking place?
Hell yeah, I have.
So listen, I mean, there was a love affair, a big time love affair, love fest, bro fest with Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Some would say that the efforts of Elon Musk and his ownership of X actually helped to push Donald Trump over the top with this last election. Donald Trump.
Well, he actually said it too now.
Yeah, he did say it, but Donald Trump would tend to disagree, and obviously so. I mean, you don't want somebody saying that. And so, so much so that Donald Trump asked Elon Musk to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, for a period of 130 days, which Elon Musk did that. He found several areas of government, what's considered to be overspending or fraud and abuse and different things like that. Donald Trump praised him. And Elon Musk just recently said that he was exiting because he had already used all of his time on the special assignment with Doge. And everyone thought that everything was good. Nobody was none the wiser until last week or early this weekend, late in the week, where after Donald Trump was pushing his budget bill, that Elon Musk basically came out and said that the bill was disgusting.
You're right. But you left out one important piece too.
What's that?
Upon the exit, and I'd never seen this before, but Elon Musk got a key to the White House.
Listen, yeah. I mean, and he had carte blanche to the Oval Office.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that his son would come and sit with him in the Oval Office and give interviews with his dad. And his son's like 2-3 years old, so it's not like a big deal. But yeah, so he basically said that that the bill was disgusting. Donald Trump kind of ignored him and said, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on with Elon. He must just be disgruntled because he's no longer a part of the administration. Elon Musk fired back. He basically fired back and said that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. And Donald Trump was like, well, his lawyers have even said that I'm not a part of this. And then Elon Musk even shot back and said that Donald Trump should be impeached, and said that he was going to start putting money towards Democratic candidates. And so at this time, it appears that Donald Trump and Elon Musk, although Elon Musk has extended an olive branch, that both of these individuals are at war with each other.
And I did see something. It was late last night, Greg, and so I don't know if this is a sign that things are subsiding. But I did see where Elon Musk started deleting quite a few of his tweets that was going the back and forth. So
Donald Trump said he was going to cancel his $1 billion government contract.
But I saw that part, and then you also saw the retort to that part where Elon Musk then made the statement that he was looking at decommissioning the Dragon space.
And then 15 minutes later, he came back and said what?
But do you know what the Dragon is?
Yeah, that's
space station.
That's what takes the astronauts back and forth to the space station. Yeah, but he's not going to do that. Elon Musk, man, I've always thought this, and I've always said this. Elon Musk is a person that craves attention.
But he certainly has it now, though.
He most certainly does, and I think that he has it with the wrong person.
Yeah.
And I think that Brother Burns has said it best. That both men are volatile, but Trump is showing an amazing amount of restraint right now. Trump is no stranger to the political back and forth or the barbs and different things like that. If you remember what happened with him and Marco Rubio, Marco Rubio is now Secretary of State. What went back and forth with him and Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz is like one of his biggest supporters right now. One of the ones who did not survive, I would have to say, is probably your good friend Jeb Bush.
Yeah, you're right.
And another one is, well, I don't know, him and Marco Rubio, they're not
but they made up. But to your
Well, I don't
point,
know if they made up, because remember what Donald Trump is backing someone in this gubernatorial race that I'm not certain is going to.
you said Marco Rubio though. You mentioned Marco Rubio just now.
Yeah, him and that Donald Trump and Marco Rubio used to have words back and forth. Maybe
And-
call him Little Marco.
Yeah. But Lil Marco, well, no, not Lil Marco. United States Senator Marco Rubio is now the
Secretary of State.
Secretary. Yeah.
Secretary of State.
And so that's my whole point. That's my whole
So that's what I'm saying. So Trump has had these barbs in the past, and he's able to get past it. But those were diplomatic individuals.
Mhm.
Marco Rubio didn't do like the whole back and forth. Ted Cruz didn't really do all of the back and forth. I mean, even to some extent, Ron DeSantis did, but then he backed off from it. He's very diplomatic with it. I mean, to come out and for Elon Musk to say something like Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, that is a direct barb and a direct jab at Donald Trump that I think was a low blow. To come out and say he should be impeached, saying the same thing that the Democrats are saying, is a direct blow and a direct jab at Donald Trump. To come out and say, what was the other thing he said? I mean, he said so much stuff right now.
But I do believe, Greg, that this is going to get resolved because you just see, man, and not from, I was going to say both sides. It's not both sides. Both in the House and the Senate, man, Republicans are saying, hey, fellas, let's not do this.
Well, no. Democrats are saying keep it going.
Oh, I know Democrats are saying
And
that.
as a matter of fact, is it Cory Booker? Yeah, Cory Booker actually came out and said, "Hey, listen, Elon, if you want to, bring some of that angst and some of that money over into the Democratic Party, we'll be more than happy to welcome you back in." Whereas they're the very same ones who were deriding and insulting Elon Musk because he backed Donald Trump. And so it's going to be kind of interesting how Democrats reconcile within themselves, now wanting to embrace Elon Musk just because he's in about a word of wars with Donald Trump.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. So we'll see how that turns out. But boy, I tell you, it has been fire.
Yeah. All right, listen, it's been fun to watch, man. It's been fun to watch.
Here's something else, man, that has been very interesting, man. And you and I both know a little something about this. The former press secretary left the Democratic Party. And I'm speaking of none other than
Karine Jean-Pierre. So this was actually the biggest news last week until this thing popped off with Donald Trump and Elon Musk. For those who don't remember, for those who don't recall, Karine Jean-Pierre was the press secretary for the Biden administration, for the White House. She was the one that basically carried the pail for Joe Biden. A lot of people accuse her of lying. A lot of people accuse her of withholding key information about not just the president specifically, but about the administration and things that were being done by the administration. And she stood there and she took it. I mean, she was a soldier for the Democratic Party and for the Biden administration. And so last week, Brother Love, on the heels of her announcing that she had a book that's coming out, she also announced that she was leaving the Democratic Party. That was the biggest news, actually, of last week until the Trump thing came out.
And that was another big black eye for the Democratic Party.
It most certainly is.
I mean, that was the talk, like you said, that was the news that you announced that you're leaving the party.
Yeah.
But on the back of that, you also use that as the opportunity. And Greg, this is all it was, that opportunity to promote her book that's coming out.
Listen, why not? Why not? Now's the best time to do it. But listen to some of the things that she's saying, Brother Love. And some of the things that she's saying, oddly enough, are some of the things that we've been saying that people criticize us for.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if because a former Democrat who's not independent is saying it, that people will now take more credence to it. But what she said is that she's becoming an independent. And the name of her book, listen, let's talk about it. Independent, a look inside a broken White House outside the party lines. She says that Americans must step beyond party lines to embrace life as independents. Think about that. Step beyond party lines. What are we talking about, Brother Love? People over party.
You're right. You're right.
Issues over party. And we have to get beyond this thing of falling in line and just doing whatever the party tells us to do just to be in with the in crowd. The other thing she said, she calls on Americans to vote their values. Think about that. How long have we been saying this, Brother Love?
I've been saying it for a long time.
Listen, to vote their values, resist political tribalism, which we've been talking about, and embrace individual conviction over party loyalty. Now, Brother Love, we've been saying this for at least 5 or 6 years.
You're right.
Now Karine Jean-Pierre is saying it,
We got talked about though when we were saying.
Yeah. Now, is anyone going to step out and say anything about about Karine Jean-Pierre? Because what she's saying is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Great. Who was? I mean, to the best of your memory, one of the most famous press secretaries that left the White House, that left under some circumstances, went and wrote a book, and then subsequently became one of those morning hosts. That's a quiz for you.
For me? Are you talking? No, not Stephanopoulos.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
He was a press secretary?
Yes, for Clinton.
I didn't know he was a press secretary.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so, Greg, this guy wrote a book, and everybody talks about the way he did it because he unveiled some things that weren't too.
Listen, I thought you were gonna say Scaramucci.
Oh. But Greg, do
You
you
remember
remember
like
2 weeks?
Yeah, he wasn't that long at all.
Yeah,
He wasn't
2
that long at all, man.
But
So,
Greg, some of the other things, man, based on these discussions, and you're very familiar with the talking heads. Is it Bakari Sellers? Conversation back and forth, and everybody's having a conversation about Pierre right now and the way that she's coming. If it's not sensationalized, it doesn't sell, Greg.
no, it doesn't. But listen, part of what she's saying is, and I've said the same thing. As a Democrat, I said the same thing. I did not like how they did Joe Biden. I think that what should have been done was the appropriate thing is that he should have announced early on that he was not running, allow individuals inside the party to vie for that seat to let the American people get a chance to know him. I didn't think that Joe Biden should have been president anyways, but since he was, let's deal with it. But I thought that he was, number one, too old. And I thought that he was showing cognitive deficiencies that people were ignoring. And that is what she's saying in her book.
You're absolutely right, but Greg, come on, man, and I got to do a little sidebar.
As well as
here.
Buttigieg.
Yeah, I got to say a little sidebar here now. Greg, now that he's out of office and he's starting to come out and do more interviews, Greg, he is actually showing the country what the country knew all along.
That he should not have been there.
Correct.
He shouldn't have been there. And now the other thing, the other big news, aside from the Trump-Elon Musk feud, because that took a lot of air out of the room, Brother Love, is that the Trump administration is actually looking at starting an investigation into the AutoPen gate.
Greg, and that's the first time I'd ever heard of AutoPen, though.
Yeah. I mean, we never heard of it because there's really no need to. But the question came about with there being a number of pardons, a number of commuted sentences and different things like that at the tail end of Joe Biden's presidency. And then the question became, did he even know that these things were being signed, and did he know what he was doing? And come to find out now, there's probably someone that was in his administration who was signing on his behalf, which is not appropriate.
But one of the biggest criticisms now, Greg, is people questioning and asking, are those pardons being vetted right now? That goes back to the Biden administration.
Yeah.
You have to ask the same question.
Yeah, listen, and that's absolutely right. Because they feel that Joe Biden was not the one who actually signed those pardons or directed those pardons to be issued or signed, they're now saying that those pardons may not be effective, to include the one for Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
So listen, this is taking an interesting turn, and like I said, with Elon Musk and Donald Trump, more so Elon Musk at war with Donald Trump, because as Brother Burns indicated, Donald Trump is showing a lot of restraint right now. He's basically said, listen, I don't have time to deal with that. I'm dealing with Russia. I'm dealing with China. I'm dealing with Israel. I'm dealing with the American economy. He's now dealing with LA. He doesn't have time.
You're right.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to be doing this back and forth in Twitter wars and Twitter fingers with Elon Musk. And Elon Musk needs to just relax right now.
So Greg,
he's not the most important thing in the room right now.
We got a bunch of major issues going on at one. But one thing for sure, at this point in time, Greg, it's proven that an American can walk and chew gum at the same time, because we got major issues going on. And to speak of major, what's taking place with the protests right now in California?
Listen, I keep saying this is like the biggest story that's taking place, but this is yet another big story that's taking place right now. In California, just last week, and I believe just over the weekend, there were 35 Mexican nationals who were detained or arrested by ICE agents. This sparked a huge riot by Mexican Americans or illegal immigrants in the LA area. So much so that they began to riot. They've actually have shut down downtown Los Angeles, which if you've ever been to downtown Los Angeles, that is a huge area to basically say you can't come into this area. But protesters started attacking police cars, setting vehicles on fire,
Yeah.
Buildings and different things like that. And it has absolutely dissolved into chaos in Los Angeles right now.
So the National Guard has been called out. I believe it's 2,000.
So 2,000 National Guardsmen, California National Guardsmen, have been called up, not by the governor of California.
And that's how it usually works, right?
That's how it should work. When you have a city the size of Los Angeles where the police force is saying that they are overwhelmed, the governor of that state should be willing and able to put the resources in place to protect his citizens. But he has sat silently by. He being Gavin Newsom. The reason why I mention his name is because he's probably going to try to run for president in the next 4 years.
But you just answered my question, because my question was going to be, why didn't the governor call the National Guard?
Your guess is as good as mine. But the governor of California has not only has he not called the National Guard and refused to bring in the National Guard, he is now suing the Trump administration for activating the National Guard, which Trump has activated the National Guard under Title 10 of the Federal Code, which basically says that he is using the National Guard and he has activated them in order to protect immigration agents and other federal law enforcement agents.
But something that's real interesting, man, and you and I, we can look at the optics of what we're being shown from the different media views.
Yeah.
But when there's a great deal of criticism about calling in the National Guard now as a layer of support, and you see you see police cars being burned, and then you hear from some of the talking heads that are local in that California area that are elected representatives, and police cars are being burnt, and they were saying it was no reason to call it. I'm kind of sitting back.
So here's the problem. If they don't call them in now, do you know what that city is going to look like in the next couple of days if they don't get a handle of this now? We have not forgotten. Some people may have forgotten, but we have not forgotten the Summer of Love in Minneapolis, where they basically and in Seattle also, where they basically took over an area in that city, and people were being murdered in those areas. People were being raped and brutalized in those areas because law enforcement would not go into those areas. I cannot imagine, number one, illegal immigrants, individuals who are there, who we don't know what they have, what weapons they may have, who take over a city. That is probably one of the worst things that you can imagine. And so for the governor of California to want to sit idly by, listen, if you disagree with Donald Trump about how he's doing it, that's fine. But as a governor of California, you have to have something in place to get a hold of this mess before it gets worse than what it has already.
And you're absolutely correct, man. But just, great. Looking at the optics, man, looking at how this thing has gotten totally out of control. And I think the National Guard just arrived, a day or so ago?
Yeah, they just, yesterday, if I want to say, if I get it right. Yeah, yesterday. And not only that, they have 700 Marines that are on standby also. Now, listen, no disrespect. I'm former National Guard. All right, I was Army National Guard, Infantry, 11 Charlie, who also Naval Intel. I don't know if people know that or not. So, yeah, I mean, the glasses, that tell you a little something about the intellect. I have to say that. But when they call in the Marines,
He calling in some.
Listen, they have 700 Marines that are on standby to go into this area. Now, listen, I know the Marines aren't going to go in and do anything that's inappropriate or unprofessional. But that lets you know that they are serious about containing what's taking place in this area.
Yeah.
The Marines, they call in the Marines to go in to protect embassies and things like that, because these guys know what it takes to keep things in order.
To that point, and Greg, here's what a lot of the conversation is all about right now. And with your former military, Greg, the discussion is being wrapped around the rules of engagement right now, since you have the National Guard and you also have the Marines on standby. When they talk about the level of engagement, what specifically are they talking about? If the protesters do what, then what happens?
So listen, I've been called up. I've actually been called up. I was called up during Hurricane Andrew. And during the time that I was called up, and Brother Pinto may remember this also, it was a scary time. It was a scary time because, number one, there was no electricity all throughout Miami. And that's what they deployed us to down to Tamiami Park, and that was kind of the base that we operated from. But there was also word and rumblings that the Haitian gangs and the Jamaican gangs were making plans to rob. At that time, that's when they had like the paper food stamps.
Yeah.
They were making plans to rob the food stamp trucks. So they literally would position us on top of buildings and in front of buildings, different areas, and they gave us live ammunition in order to be ready to engage if we needed to. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not giving up anything too much. You do not keep your weapon loaded. That's first and foremost. So in terms of the rules of engagement, you don't have to worry about any accidental fire taking place
Okay.
because that is very well controlled. The only time that you load your weapon is when you are given a command to do so, when it is the last resort that you have, and you do it in a very controlled manner. And not only that, you only have a certain number of ammunition inside of your magazines as well. So you don't have somebody that's like, you like see like like the double arm and doing this stuff. No, it is very controlled. The individuals who are in those areas, even the National Guard members, are professionals, and so they're not going to do anything that is going to sink into some type of war zone.
But you just said something, man, I think that explains everything. And when you mention the word last resort,
Yeah.
I think
Bro,
that helps people understand that if those individuals are not in a situation where there's going to be a loss of life or a threat to their life.
If they're being fired upon.
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah. I mean, if they're not being fired upon, there's it is a very controlled, military members, even like I said, even the reserve components are very well trained. They know how to handle certain situations. The ones that they're sending in there, I know that they are well trained to handle these types of situations. They're probably military police, is what I'd be surprised with, even infantry, which I wouldn't be surprised if it's an infantry unit or a military police unit. But yeah, they are going to be very well trained and capable of handling this job.
Greg,
2,000 more troops on the way, guys. Just to
What?
let
Say
y'all
that
know.
again.
2,000 more troops are on the way.
2,000
Just
more.
got-
So does that make
Just got
4,000
announced.
at that point?
Just got announced just now.
Is that going to make 4,000?
I believe so. Let me check it out. I'll look into it right now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, listen, but you cannot, and let me say this again, you cannot allow the types of activities, this rioting, this destroying property, this setting fire of law enforcement vehicles to take place.
That makes 4,000.
That is not the way that this country, uses its right to free speech and to express themselves. That is not the way to do it.
And Greg, based on what we've seen, though, I mean, again, and you and I, we view all the different media outlets just to kind of get a real good perspective. You just can't watch one and
Right.
think that is it.
Right.
But what I've been seeing across the board, Greg, is since the National Guard has been there, you've seen that presence. I've been looking for law enforcement, and I haven't seen.
Oh, they're there.
Okay.
No, they're there. I mean, but they are overwhelmed right now.
Okay.
I've seen the videos with law enforcement trying to control the crowd. They're using rubber bullets right now. That's what law enforcement is using. But they're there. It's just that they're becoming overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
What you got, Doc?
Yeah, it's kind of funny how all this anarchist type stuff takes place on the West Coast. And when you think about it, from Washington all the way down, this is a constant problem because I think it's just a breeding ground for these types of groups. Seattle that area has always had this problem. Remember when they took over?
Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah. The summer of love. Yeah, we were talking about that.
So I think
Doc, what's the commonality of LA and Seattle? What are they?
West Coast,
West
liberal.
Coast, but what else? It's on the tip of your tongue. I know it is.
Liberalism.
That's a part of it. Sanctuary city.
Yeah. You're right. I
I didn't think about it. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know how you give sanctuary to criminals.
Imagine that. Imagine that.
Think about this, and people don't see the reality of this. you know, you come to United States that there's a process. Okay. You say bump day process, I'm going to sneak in. Okay. Then I get here and yeah, I don't commit crimes, but I've committed the crime. This is like somebody showing up. They basically broke into your home and set up shop.
Yeah.
If you simplify it, that's what it is.
And because they cook you breakfast, and because they cook you breakfast,
Yeah.
you should forgive everything.
Yeah, they cut in the yard and picking the vegetables for you in the garden and all of this stuff, and they expect you to just be okay with it. It's not. I don't think it's a. I absolutely know that it's not a factor of racism. It's a factor of law breaking. I mean, every American is impacted in some manner by the current climate surrounding immigration.
Hey, to the both of you, what do you think? What are the top 3 issues that made the election go in the direction that it went?
Economy, immigration, and national security.
Okay, what's your 3?
Same.
Rick,
I-
the same?
I would say more so economy and ineffective leadership that was
Okay,
clear.
so I just asked for 3, Doc. I just asked for 3.
No. It is ineffective leadership. That is
Okay,
3.
so the economy,
Economy,
immigration,
Immigration
and
and ineffective leadership.
okay, here's the 3 that shows up no matter whether you Google, whether you go and do some deep dive. It is the economy,
Mhm.
it is immigration,
Mhm.
and here's another one that it's real simple. When you talk about fairness from the perspective of, and this is real basic, men participating
And
in women's sports.
Yeah.
That pops up every time.
Yeah.
And so, I just think, man, when we talk about some basic issues there, Greg, you and Doc are well traveled. Can you go to any other country and do what has taken place in America?
France.
You can go to France and do that.
Yeah, they did it in France.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did it. Look at France.
I'm glad you said that because guess what I saw? That same kind of protest out of
And
control.
where'd you see it? Where'd you see it?
Down on the Champs-Élysées.
Yeah,
And
I'm telling you, France.
the French police
I'm
were
telling you.
outnumbered.
Yeah,
They
okay.
had, yeah. Them people's like, now you know what they say, F the police. They were effing the police. and we handle it very, very different. We're cognizant of civil liberties, sometimes too cautious.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Over
way
there.
too cautious. Okay.
Hey, Mondo, give me the population of France.
We don't owe these people anything. We don't owe it to them. We don't owe them to be nice. We don't owe them a seat at the table or anything like that. But yet it's still liberal. This is my problem with liberals. We want to please everybody.
Yep.
We want to please everybody. And you go to a Democratic meeting, you got the blacks over here, the whites over here, the Spanish over here, the gays over here, the trans over here, all of these different groups. There is no cohesiveness between them. And everybody think that their issue takes priority over the
The
other.
most important issue.
Yeah, but I
population.
think the major issue is promising everybody everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unsustainable.
but
Population. Population of France is 68 million.
68 million. Thank you, Mondo.
and listen, France don't look French anymore. Germany don't look and I was telling my wife, it's amazing to see blacks and Middle Easterns as the majority when you go to Frankfurt.
Yep. And the same is true in Spain too.
And so you can see these countries, I hate to say it, losing their national identity.
Well, tell you what, here's a question, and either one of you. we see what's taking place in California. Greg, you already mentioned this, and I think we know it's coming. Newsom, he's just trying to make a play and a move to run for president, right?
He's trying to appease the liberal faction of the Democratic Party, which is the reason why Joe Biden lost the election. Well, excuse me, the reason why Kamala Harris lost the election. People, people were tired of being told that they could not speak their mind, but everyone else could. And so, Gavin Newsom is standing out here saying that the individuals who pay taxes, that they don't have a right to be protected, but individuals who are in his state illegally, who are burning and tearing down his state, have more rights than the individuals who live there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's telling them right now.
But I don't think that message, I mean, just this is my opinion, in my opinion only, I think that message is going to continue to have the Democratic Party going down in flames.
It is, and it's going to continue to have people to move away from the Democratic Party. There are many more Democrats who are to the center than there are ones that are to the left.
Well, tell you what, hey, Brother Jackson, I know, we're down to 10 minutes, and I don't want to get into the rapid round with you just yet.
Okay.
But Greg, let's keep it local. Let's bring it back local.
All right.
Osceola County Sheriff.
Brother Love, this is the biggest story last week. If it went for Trump, plus this locally, literally is the biggest story in Central Florida for the week, and probably going to be the biggest story for a long, long time. But the Osceola County Sheriff, Marcos Lopez, was arrested last week, Brother Love, on racketeering charges and conspiracy for racketeering. This is based around the fact that he was a part of, if not running, or the ringleader of an illegal gambling operation in Kissimmee, Osceola County.
Did I get this correct, Greg, when I was reading the different information on this, that this started back in based on what's been reported, started back in 2019.
2019, and as a matter of fact, they're saying that portions of the proceeds were probably used to fund his political campaign. So
this before he became sheriff.
Before he became sheriff. And so this story is absolutely ridiculously huge, because you have a sheriff, the chief law enforcement officer, constitutional officer of Kissimmee County, Florida, who is now being accused of racketeering for running an illegal gambling ring where he had slot machines, I don't know if it was poker, but like all of these machines that they were bringing in somewhere to the tune of $20 to $21 million per year.
Greg, how did that go on? So, I know I'm not asking you the question, but 2019.
So listen, that is the question that the investigation that is now being started is going to answer, because he was not doing this in a vacuum without the help of other law enforcement individuals.
Well, can you update us, because just based on some of the headlines, last night or today, that two of his top leadership have been terminated from the sheriff's office.
So one of which that I know specifically is the executive director of the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, which is Nerva Rodriguez, has been terminated, but there's no indication that she had any knowledge or any involvement in this. But as this investigation goes on, who knows what we're going to find out about what's been taking place in that Osceola County Sheriff's Office.
And Greg, I believe, if I read this correctly, his bond is set at $1 million.
Set at $1 million, which means that 10%, if he can get a bond, that's $100,000. But the judge has indicated that he cannot use that. They have to make sure that any money that he used is not any money from this illegal enterprise.
And last reported, and I'm talking about earlier today, that he is still in the Lake County jail.
Still locked up. So he has not gotten out yet. This is a huge story. He obviously has been suspended by the governor of the state of Florida. The governor actually brought in a former major for Florida Highway Patrol.
Correct.
I forget his name. My apologies. Very swift in action, which lets you know when people are saying, well, he did this to the state attorneys and this, that, and another. No, when people do things that bring to question, the governor has to act swiftly, and that's what he did in this case. So,
Greg, like you said, man, this just took on a whole new life of itself when it was announced. And then, you look at the media reporting on this, and you look at the media had to have been given an exclusive to this, because they were at the site that he was going to a meeting at Homeland Security, and
Got him.
was videoing him when he
Yeah.
left his SUV
Yeah.
to go to the
And they got him.
yeah.
They got him. Yeah. No, absolutely. You know, what's interesting too, Brother Love, is that when I was with the Attorney General's office, I actually, before I left, I was in the process of opening up investigations on these internet cafes.
Mm.
And that was a big deal. When did I leave the agency? Back in 2012. And they kind of relaxed it or whatever the case may be, which was surprising to me. But I actually saw one lawyer who was participating and involved in that find himself in some trouble. Now, he got over some things, but those internet cafes have been around for a while, and we all know that those are things that that are getting folks in trouble.
Great. Doesn't that go? I mean, those internet cafes, man. I think that big initiative with Florida was like, man, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, 2012 was when I was in the agency.
Oh, okay.
Just when I was getting ready to leave, I was getting ready to start. I was getting ready to
Man.
start putting my foot on some people's necks.
Hey,
on that.
so needless to say, gambling is
Well, gambling's not bad. Remember, you have
legalized. You got legalized.
right, and you do have poker rooms and different things like that. But the way that this was being run was absolutely well. Let me take a step back. Allegedly, what he was running was criminal.
Okay. Woo. Well, great. We got 5 minutes, man, and I want
5
to run
minutes.
down.
That's all we need.
Man,
5 minutes.
Hey, Central Florida politics, man. Special election.
Special election. So we talked about this last week. There was a form. Brother Love and I had the honor and privilege of posting that form on behalf of Tiger Bay and the great city of Apopka. We had a chance to meet and speak to 3 of the candidates for the State Senate 15 race, one of which was Coretta Anthony Smith, local attorney. The other was former Congressman Alan Grayson, and the other is former State Senator Randolph Bracey. Unfortunately, the other candidate who could not be in attendance but did provide a letter was LaVon Bracey Davis, but she's in session still right now.
Yes.
Yeah, she's in session still right now, so we're not going to talk too much about that. But then there was also another gentleman who was supposed to be there who was not there, and I don't know if I blame him right now, but by the name of Willie Montague, he was not there, but he is the sole Republican in the
You're right.
race.
You're
So
right.
he automatically makes it to
Go to the
November.
general election. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I mean, probably no need for him to really jump out there and debate the shit, but it would have been good to at least put a name, a face with the name.
So, Greg, we talked about the Senate District 15 race.
Yeah.
So let people know what triggered the District 40 race.
So the District 40 race was triggered by the fact that LaVon Bracey Davis is the current representative for District 40. She has resigned her seat. That's going to take effect, I think, the week after the election. But she has resigned her seat, which means that in effect that the District 40 seat is going to be open. And so now we have 2 candidates for that House District 40 seat. The first is Rashawn Young, who is the former chief legislative aide for Ms. LaVon Bracey Davis. He has resigned that seat so that he can run. And then we also have former state representative, Mr. Tavares McCurdy, who is running for that seat. Both 2 very, very impressive young men. I will say that Mr. McCurdy just has experience from the fact that he was there before, and not sure, how that will influence voters. But it's something more than likely that they will have to take into consideration.
Absolutely correct. And Greg, you and I witnessed something, as well as the audience that was in attendance at Tiger Bay, that we used to see, but we don't see it often today.
Yeah, not when I was running them.
No, it was running.
Not when I was running. Listen, man, it was blood and guts. Yeah, listen.
But Greg, tell people
Scorched
what.
earth. When I was
Scorched
running,
earth.
yeah, man, I didn't play that. Don't
And you
shake
did
my
bring
hand.
that up. You did bring that up, and Mary Nelson happened in the
Yeah, don't
audience.
shake my hand. We ain't friends. Let's be a fighter, like a boxer. Like boxers.
You got
do
that mentality?
When we are in that ring, nah.
Those 2 men, though, Greg, I like what I saw.
I'm just joking. I was good with everybody. No, almost everybody.
Almost everybody, huh? But Greg, hey man, look, June the 24th.
June 20th. But no, finish what you're saying. I'm
But-
sorry, I
but-
cut you off
but
about
those-
what they did. Yeah.
But those 2 gentlemen, they had opposing views on some items,
Right.
and they were civil about their opposing views. But one of the things that they did, Greg, I think before and after, they showed class.
They most certainly did.
They
The first thing they did when they stood up and sat down at the stage together was they turned to each other, they greeted each other, and they shook hands.
We used to see that.
And we need to see more of that in politics, and especially amongst young men, especially young men of color who are running for offices, because what they always expect is they expect that we're at each other's throats, and that we always, because we're running against each other, that we have to be enemies. One of the things that I learned, and one of the things I always tell people is that, and I said this also, you have to have respect for the people that are running, because each person is putting themselves up to serve the community.
Right.
And you have to respect that. It doesn't matter if we disagree with each other's views, they still have the same common aim of serving.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. Hey, Greg, I do want to say this, man. Greg and I, we appreciate the community's input as it relates to, Greg, we're always getting calls about, hey, what do you guys think about the candidates? What do you think? What are some of the major issues? And then we reverse it on them.
Yeah.
What do you think about the
Yeah,
issues?
what do you know?
And
Yeah.
so, man, we just want to say thank you to the public, because that gives us a great deal of pride to say what we do matters.
That's right. That's right.
But tell you what we do, what I'm about to do right now matters too, Greg, because we gotta go ahead and keep everything on schedule. And brother, you do not have to go home.
But you got to get out of here.
Hey, until next week on Let's Talk Nation, tune in at 7:00 so that we can go ahead and bring you up to date and bring that IQ up to what, Greg?
We got another 25 tonight.
25 tonight?
25 tonight, yeah.
Hey, we look forward to seeing you next week. Join us on Let's Talk Nation.